Greetings everyone, Director the Hedgefox here. I just wanted to say sorry for not making any progress updates in a while. I've just been really busy and also just been kind of struggling with some things, but just wanted to show people some things that have been done in the last little while.
In the middle of the 29th.
One of the things is how the OpenGL requirement has been bumped all the way up to OpenGL 4.6 because I wanted to make use of its features to optimize the renderer significantly. Under release build, common frame rates are now up to like 1,000 frames per second without any enhancements turned on. And that's up from like about 130 average, so yeah. I've added quite a few new rendering features. We got HDR and Bloom. We have physically based rendering, so models can have really nice, shiny, like AAA level materials, as you can see with this ship here. I've just used as a test example. And you can see like the updated bunker there.
Counselor. I am Eve, the Hellbender's enhanced virtual entity.
Enter some keys here for a second,
just
to show you some things.
Coalition victory. I will guide you through every battle,
for example,
but winning the war is up to you.
the particle effects have bloom. You got your bloom around your lasers. Got a lot of fine control over what effects and what textures can use the bloom. It's not like a global thing. It has to be like specifically curated to materials. But the benefit of that is just that you don't have bloom in places where you shouldn't have it. Bloom on the lasers of the enemies as well. So, yeah. Lasers of the enemies, I should say. Brain for art. Yeah, Cat 6A cables are pretty good. That's usually where you want to go if you want to make sure you have the highest throughput. Now, I've added a couple new cheats to this.
Beacon launched. Beacon launched.
Oh, come on.
Beacon launched.
No.
Beacon launched.
There we go. Launched like a million fucking beacons trying to type it, but anyway. Now what that just did is froze all the enemy AI, so I can now flip around and show you how the models and reflections work. You got cube map reflections, emissive materials bloom, normal mapping, metalness and roughness maps, like it's full PBR. Only thing that I do not have are ambient occlusion maps right now. That's something that I'm gonna have to look into in the future. Ambient occlusion maps can be kind of complicated to implement. I think in the meantime this actually is more than suitable. Now, another thing that has been done is very aggressive PVS culling for underground segments. So for example, let me see if I can pitch the view down a bit. Kind of demonstrate, like for example, when I'm up here and just looking down through the hole, only the stuff that's visible by the hole in the ground will render. So it's done in like 4x4 chunks. See, nothing's that isn't really necessary to render is being rendered. Now if I go down, let's set my view up, you can see areas that are only visible to the chunk that I'm currently in will be rendered. So if I go here, move, as you can see, stuff is being pulled. Now, there is a downside to this. Like, it does help boost the frame rate a lot, which is what it's meant to do. But it does add to the load time quite significantly. Although I did multi-thread it recently, which has made the load time, like, pretty quick. Because it has to do, like, a bunch of visibility checking. Like from tile to tile. Or chunk to chunk. Go here, and as I get closer, more of it pops in. So on and so forth. So yeah, a lot of optimization. Don't need to render shit you can't see. Prior to the PVS, this would have rendered the entire, like, underground. And just to show you what it looks like in some other games here, I have a custom model that I got off of Sketchfab here of the TV202 with PBR materials. It looks really nice. Now this won't be shipped with TerminalFury because I don't really have permission to use this model for anything, so it's just kind of just in here as a test. Yeah. Trying to remember, bear with me here. I know you're on here. There we go. Yeah, the model's done by a guy named Arathor, so give credit to him. It's a really nice model, so... Anyway. It, works with a good test. Now the goal is that I would like to have like a team put together to do model replacements for like every like single model in Terminal Velocity, Fury 3, Hellbender. Like have them done with PBR materials and all that. Just need some talented modelers and whatnot to actually do it. And something I want to demonstrate here. I'm gonna close the game for a second. I want to show you something here. Display capture on. Hang on. No. It's the wrong display. Bear with me. Alright. So as you can see, I now have a model exporter to Blender. What it does is it takes the bin, like the Merkle binary models in Terminal Velocity, Fury 3, and Hellbender, and exports them to GLTF, which then you can export as GLB, which is what TerminalFury uses as its new modern model format. So yeah, this is the Simian boss from Chimera here, and it's complete with its animations. All of its nodes are like objects, have their original like names from the key script models, but they have a suffix now. So like .9, .0, .6. Basically, that's just a way to index the objects, so that way you can line them up with the original indexes in Hellbender. So, because usually, like, what happens is, like, for things like, say, firing points, like turrets and stuff like that, or like where lasers shoot out of the model, or what parts can be blown off, because one of the cool things about Hellbender is that it actually has a dismemberment system. So, like, for example, like, say these guns on Simian here. Let me just figure out which one's okay. So yeah, bar 1, bar 2, so these are the barrels. And these have a custom property called can blow off. And then the health, so how much it takes to destroy that particular part. And then, yeah, if you shoot it, cannon gets blown off. Boss can't shoot from that cannon anymore, leaving it defenseless. It's cool shit like that. Head, you can blow the head off on this model. So yeah, you can decapitate Simian if you want. It's all cool shit. But yeah, in order to make sure that it lines up with the original game's like scripting, you have to make sure that your like points on the model have the same name, or the same number rather, I should say, as the original source model. It's a little bit of extra work, but it's necessary. And just to show, let me import another model here. Just go, whoop, whoop. Let's import bunker. So yeah, I got the bunker model here. Or if I go delete that, I have an exported version of the original model, and the reason why those lights are white is because the material for emissive in this is a bright map and not a real emissive map. So you go here and look at the materials. We got a custom property for that. Say bunker side, and we have emissive as bright map. That's a custom property that tells the engine that it's like an old school like pixel bright map, meaning like any like pixel that is white illuminates in the darkness. Now you don't have to do it that way. You can use traditional like PBR emissive maps, but none of the original models in the game do that. So let's just make sure that when you export it and then re-import it as a GLB, it'll look the same as it's like supposed to. And what else do we got here? Let me just go into my code and relaunch. Now, actually, I'll show you too the way that the model exporter works. So, like, you go like TFury, export model, and then, here. Let me close that for a second so you can actually see it. So you got TFury, export model, Hellbender. You have to enter the name of the game so it knows what files to load. And then say, let me look at Slate here. Let's export the radar dish. So mobdish.txt. So mobdish.txt. What'll happen is the game will load up like this, and then it'll quit. But if you go into here, go to model export, and now we have the mobdish.txt folder. And then here we have all the bright maps, textures. We have like a JSON sidecar file that allows you to control the scale and other stuff like that. You can usually just ignore that. But it's the full set of assets. And then you just go into Blender. Just gonna hit new. And then I go import GLTF models. Where is my next model export? Mobdish. And then import. And there it is. And I can even go so far as to go into render. Now, one thing about the default models of Hellbender, some of the models don't have their normals flipped correctly. That's just an authoring problem with those models. It's not a bug with the exporter. So like usually what you would want to do is do something like this, where you just hit tab and then I'm trying to remember how to select faces. Yeah, there we go. So I just go in, select all these faces that are fucked up. Alt N, flip. There we go. Now the normals are in the correct orientation. And then, yeah. We got our model with the full animation here. I have to say it works pretty good so far. Yeah, it's looking like I'm gonna have to like upgrade my PC here soon. Although I can't afford it, unfortunately, because RAM prices are absolutely fucking ridiculous. But one of my RAM sticks is dying, and if I get up to like 75% capacity, it just starts becoming very unstable, and things crash, and it's been setting me back quite a lot, unfortunately. Anyway, what I'd like to do is upgrade to like 64 gigs instead of 32. Anyway, yep. Shit's working pretty good. Anyway. Just go back into the game for a minute. Yeah, some of that's not loading the right models because I just put it in the root folder instead of like each game's subfolder. So yeah, this is gonna end up loading up Hellbender bunkers and shit. Oh. And in case anybody is wondering, yes, you can turn the bloom off. That's a little odd. Lasers are coming from the origin point rather than a specific cannon. Now that might just be par for the course here. Let me look at the other models here. Hard to tell sometimes. That's another like purpose for the point names for the objects in Blender there, because like it can either be a just the name of an object, or it could also be a name of a bone. So like you could have a bone called point whatever, and it will shoot from that bone. And just to show you some of the silliness I got up to when testing these things. Skeletal animation. Let's shoot the noise. And here I was testing out translation and rotation animations. I do not have animation pointers support it yet, so like normally what would happen is this box would change to different colors. That just doesn't happen here. That's something I would like to implement, though. Animation pointers would be really useful for having, like, Star Fox-style lasers that, like, blank colors and things like that. Although you could technically do that with shaders as well. And I already have custom shader support, you just have to, like, define the name of the texture in the shader list and then assign it to a shader material, and then from there you can give it like the color flashing if you want it. Yeah, the new Star Fox game looks pretty good. I'm pissed that it's another Star Fox 64 remake, though. Or just Star Fox 1 remake, I should say, because Star Fox 64 is a remake of Star Fox 1, and then you got 64 3D, and then you got Star Fox 0, which is also a remake of Star Fox 1, and then you have fucking the new one, which is also another remake of Star Fox 1. So it's like, fuck. I just want like a fucking remaster of Star Fox Assault with, like, new levels. Or, like, a proper sequel to Star Fox Assault that isn't that fucking dogshit Star Fox Command. I don't want to think about it too much, though, otherwise I'm going to get depressed. Because Star Fox Assault and whatnot was probably one of my favorite games of all time, and I just hate how Nintendo fumbled the franchise after that. Graphics are good in Campaign Evolved, but they fucked up the gameplay, unfortunately. The AI is fucking stupid in comparison to the original game. And the Flood is slow. Like, I get it that it's because they used the Halo 3 Flood AI, but the Flood is not nearly as aggressive as it used to be, and that really kind of kills the horror factor of, like, those missions. The campaign remix mode, I suppose, is kind of cool, but I don't know. I feel like the game could have used another couple months at least in the oven. Mainly for them just to polish up the AI. Because there's a lot of times, like, I've noticed in, like, Campaign Evolved, like, the AI will just, like, sit there and stare at you. Or, like, stand in a corner, like, you'll have a grunt kind of, like, staring at a wall and, like, not fucking taking part in the fight. And also, I don't like how they use the Halo Reach, like, animations and shit again. Because it's like, they don't animate the way that the original Combat Evolved, like, enemies do. Like, you can really tell, like, when the elites are, like, patrolling around, because they do this, like, weird, like, awkward, like, shuffle like they got shit in their ass. Whereas in, like, in the original Combat Evolved, they would, like, stand up, like, upright, and they would look around, check the corners, and look at grunts as they're passing by, and all that. But in, like, Halo Reach, and of course, by proxy, like, Campaign Evolved, they're like, like that. Like, they do this, like, weird, like, monkey shuffle. And they do it like they, like, again, like they have to go to the bathroom really bad. Oh well. Maybe I'm overly critical about it because, like, Halo Combat Evolved is probably one of my favorite games as well, but I don't know. It's hard to say. Anyway. Enough shitting around for me. I'm probably gonna go to bed here, because honestly I'm tired and... Anyway. Yeah, this is probably gonna be another month or two before I can get this build out, because there's stuff that I need to get done. Alright, take care. But yeah, a lot of stuff that I need to get done, and like the model parser is a mess, and I need to clean up the code so that way it's something that I can actually maintain. And like export is not like completely functional. Like there's some things like, hang on a second here. Let's try. I'll test something here on the stream. 1 second here. Let me see. Fury 3. Models. Let's just try the walker. Fury model. Fury. Okay. That should have exported the walker. It kind of did. But all the textures are black. Why? Excuse me. Right. Okay, so yeah, it's one meshes, 6 materials, 0 animations. Yeah, that's a lie. Well, let's see what happens when I import it. New general model. Okay. That is the model. But my keyframe animations are not working. And the texture is pitch black. Why? So yeah, just to show you what I'm looking at here. Display capture. Yeah, like my walker model here has no keyframes and all the textures are pitch black. So yeah, there's a lot of work to do yet. Yeah, it just exported it all like that, and I have no fucking clue why. Anyway, I'll figure it out. But anyway, yeah. Sorry, I'm just mentally fried. Just because of all the work that I've had to do and the scope of the project getting kind of out of hand. To be kind of completely honest, like, this stuff is starting to get really overwhelming for me, and dealing with depression and all that crap too, which is never fun. Anyway, take care, everyone.